viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode. People, in today's episode, we want to talk about our refugee brothers and sisters in America, how things are looking. And sadly, things are not looking too well for our American brothers and sisters who happen to be our South African brothers and sisters. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, there's a saying that says, never burn bridges. There's another saying that says, life is round. Life is a circle. You will always somehow find yourself either going back or being reminded of the place or the people that you left behind. Sadly, the grass is not always green on the other side. Now, when our brothers and sisters, even though they do not like us, but we still like them, left on a bad note because they lied to the world about the state of South Africa's crime affairs, and they made it so much so that the world believed them, that even Donald Trump decided to send a chartered plane based on the evidence given to him by the esteemed Elon Musk. But here's the thing. So they left with this whole genocide rhetoric, right? And they were accepted in America. So we all know the whole story, right? But now here's the thing. When they got the introduction or induction at the airport, I remember specifically that American individual or that official who said, we are going to get you guys ready, we're going to get you guys this and that, prepare you, that's a warm welcome and all that, and which they did. Most of them, unfortunately, were put up in hotels in places that were not so suitable where the South African people were so used to, like as if they were in South Africa. Now, South Africa is not built like America, or America is not built like South Africa, like they thought. For example, in South Africa, did you know that our malls have almost everything that we desire under one roof? So, for example, in South Africa, we have a Pick and Pay and a Checkers in the mall. We also have a bank. We have clothing stores, jewelry stores, shoes stores, clothing stores, restaurants, eateries, this and that. We have everything you could possibly want in a mall. Okay, American malls are not built like South African malls. In American malls, it's just basically clothing and jewelry stores. I think that's just about it. It's just your luxury brands. That's all you have. You do not have Pick and Pay. You don't have grocery shopping inside of a mall in America. You're just going to buy clothes and maybe jewelry. That's about it. Toys maybe, but basically it's basically clothes and toys, and that's it. Our brothers and sisters that moved over to America, at least I like to still call them brothers and sisters because I still feel like we still like them even though they don't like us at all. They have somehow were disillusioned when they got there because they were expecting a South African type of lifestyle in America. But to their surprise, no, it was not meant to be. Some of them were put up in hotels, right? And in those hotels, there needs to be bills that have to be paid because hotels supply you with breakfast, lunch, and supper, right? And that doesn't come for free, and neither does it come cheap. So our brothers and sisters are now struggling with no food and no transport. You see, America is not like South Africa where you can walk your life to convenience and back. You see, in America, a vehicle is like your feet. Whereas in South Africa, a vehicle is a luxury, an asset, but more of a luxury because South Africa, we can still live an entire life without a vehicle and still live an abundant life. America, depending where you live, I don't think so. South Africa, too, if you live on a farm, obviously you're going to need a vehicle, right? In America, it's a different story. You see, in South Africa, a mall is within walking distance in most suburbs and in most areas. Sometimes you could walk at least an hour at max to a mall, an hour back, you're done. In America, it's not so. America is huge. America is big. Trust me. Most of the houses and most of the residential areas are far from the malls. And in America, the funny thing is, you don't buy food in a mall. That's the funny thing. And your butcheries, your food stores are all outside of malls. And those places are far out from residential areas too. You see, the town planning in America is so different to the town planning in South Africa. In South Africa, town planning was meant for ease of convenience based on the incomes of the people. So whereas in America, because it was a well-developed ages, they designed it in such a way that it was designed for the rich. They just assumed everybody's going to be rich. So therefore, we're going to design it in such a way that everybody's going to have a vehicle. And unfortunately, not everybody got a vehicle, but okay. America, most car plans, because they run everything on credit, everybody can almost really afford a car, right? That's why you see most Americans, even if you have a low paying, well, not a low paying, but a low status job, almost everybody's got a vehicle, right? Because the economy and their financial system is designed in that way that they apply for credit. Well, they basically roll on credit. Everything is on credit, so they can afford it, right? South Africa is not designed the same way because in South Africa, everything, like I said, is designed for convenience for the low income earners, of which the rich also get to benefit from their low incomeness, right? Even though they actually really don't need it because, I mean, they have the money, the status, the vehicles, anything. But in South Africa, we are fortunate enough that we can walk for the rest of our lives to convenience, to abundance. We do not need vehicles per se, although it would be nice to have a vehicle. Whereas in South Africa, a vehicle is seen as a luxury, whereas in America, a vehicle is an asset. See the difference? So our South African brothers and sisters who are over there are experiencing a life, well, let's put a culture shock, because they went from a life of abundance, well, not really abundance, but convenience, to a life of inconvenience. Why am I saying this? You see, most of the refugees that went over to America had houses of their own. They had basically lives, functioning lives of their own, which they thought they could trade in for a better life in a whiter country around white people. So they might have got the white part right, but then the convenience and the abundance part, I don't think it's really working out for them as we currently speak. How do we know this? Because the refugees that are currently experiencing food shortages, transport shortages, transport problems, in fact, are sending messages to their other counterparts in America, in the WhatsApp groups, asking each other how they are coping and how they are being treated wherever they are. And the responses are being sent to their friends and families in South Africa. And that is how we are getting to see these messages over TikTok, over Instagram, on Facebook, and everywhere, that these people are being mistreated. Now, it's only obvious that the fallout between Donald Trump and Elon Musk has hit the refugees the hardest, because it was Elon Musk's idea to pursue this whole refugee thing and the genocide thing. And that is why Donald Trump agreed to it, sent a chartered plane, and did all that. If there was no Elon in the picture, Donald would not have sent a chartered plane at all. You see, Donald Trump has always said that Africa is a bunch of whole countries. So, if Africa is a bunch of whole countries, why would you send a chartered plane to a whole country? That doesn't make sense. But then, if you have Elon Musk whispering in your ear that you need to do this for PR, for this, for that, then you get Donald Trump. making a U-turn that, okay, of the 54 countries that are, well, rephrase, of the 54 holes in Africa, there's except one that's not a shithole, and that is South Africa. And to be precise, well, the entire country is a shithole, except for one place, maybe Brakpan. Get it? And that's where the jet was sent to, Brakpan. So, people, we may be making light of a very serious, sad situation. Why am I saying it's sad? Well, we know that the 49, basically there's 8,000 in total, right? We do know that they have now come to despise us, dislike us, lie about us, and create this false narrative that South Africa is a killing zone for white people, which we all know it's not. Even other Afrikaner people have debunked that, including AfriForum, the main instigators behind the genocide. They are the ones that came out and said this and running to the White House. They are the ones that did it. So AfriForum cannot backtrack and say, no, no, no. What we meant to say was this: no, AfriForum, you were at the White House. You went there and you were advocating for White House help. Why would you advocate for help if there wasn't a problem in the first place? That's my whole point. See what I mean? Take responsibility for your actions. What was AfriForum doing at the White House if there wasn't a white problem in South Africa? We all know there are black and brown problems in South Africa. You don't see AfriForum going to advocate for South African problems. They went there to advocate for white problems. But now they backtracked and they said, no, this is not what, guys, we don't care what you say. You went there to Africa, you went there to the White House, you went to do your thing, and guess what? Backfired on you. So, AfriForum, if you listen to this video, do us a favor. Go back to, I don't know, where'd you come from? Holland? Germany? France? Go back there. Go help build your father's grandfather's countries. Go help build there. Go and help develop there. Don't come and try and lie about what's going on here. Everyone is affected by crime, and we all know that it's been debunked. So, if you don't want to play ball by being fair to all South Africans, and you want to play ball by just being fair to only one group of South Africans, then pack your bags gladly. Go back to Europe. Go back there with your white problems. Because South Africa has a crime problem, not a white problem. It doesn't even have a black problem or a brown problem. It has an African problem, a South African problem. So if you don't see things that way, I'm gladly telling you, pack your bags, go join your other 49 and 8,000 in total. In fact, take your entire Forum group now and move to America. How about that? Then at least we know we are what? One race down, one problem less. Now we've got three races who have problems to deal with. Don't you think that would be a solution? I mean, if I was in AfriForum, I would actually do that. I'd be like, you know what, guys? Instead of us going to lobby for help, lobby, why we people? That's what I even didn't know. Did you even know that all this time that we've been living in South Africa, these people have been lobbying foreign governments for help? And here we are thinking we are South Africans. And yet behind our backs, there are South Africans doing us dirty. So before you continue doing all this dirt you're doing, you and the DA, pack your bags and go back to Europe. Go to Europe. That's where you belong. Dude, people, if you claim to be South African, why would you lobby for help from other countries? Wouldn't you lobby for help within the other race groups within your country? Would you not look for alliances within your country? Last time I checked, the refugees were having it hard in America. And sad as it may be, there's a part of every South African who thinks that they deserve it, including me, because of the way they lived. The lies, the propaganda, this, and that. We all know what they did. Yes, there's a part of us that all feels that they deserve what they're going through. And maybe they should go through it for a little longer than it should actually go on for, because they need to learn their lessons that the grass is not always green on the other side. Trust when I say that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at this and say, like, oh, you being nasty and you being rude and you being crude. And no, I'm being real. You see, the last thing we need in our society is backstabbers. If we are willing to build South Africa to something that can compete on a global stage, we all need to pull our weight, work together, and in unison. But if we can't do that, then let the backstabbers, the liars, the genocide sympathizers, let them go. If you want to lobby help from America, go to America. We're not holding you back. In fact, we don't need you. We don't need you. No, believe you me, we don't need you. We needed electricity. There was no electricity. We made do with other means. So we need farmers. We don't need you. That's the difference. We need farmers. We just don't need you. It's if you're a farmer lobbying for help from America. We need good politicians. We don't need the DA. We just need good politicians. We just don't need the DA, because the DA is another member, another party that goes lobbying in America and other places. For what? That's what I'm trying to find out. For what? I mean, you have other parties that you could align with within the South African context to achieve your goals. But you choose to go to the West and lobby there. The funny thing about these white organizations, they don't lobby in the East. They don't lobby in the Middle East. They don't lobby in South America. They lobby in Europe and America. So if that's the case, you've drawn a line in the sand. So why don't you just move there? Why would you stay in a country that you're not happy in? Why would you ask foreign help for a place that disgusts you? That's just my thing. I mean, if I'm not happy in Africa, I'll move. If I'm not happy in South Africa, I will move. What do you think? Maybe I'm wrong, eh? Maybe. People, let me know what you think about this video. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holla.